It's Press Pass with Jack Ebling, Mid-Michigan's spirited sports debate. Now let's get talking sports. Here's Jack.
Great evening, Mid-Michigan and beyond, and happy Super Bowl Sunday. Welcome to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It is time to meet Team 384. Darian Harris, 5-year MSU linebacker, co-captain of the 2015 Big Ten champions and college football playoff team. And he is the Spartans' first director of player engagement. How you doing, Darian?
Doing well. Excited to be on Super Bowl Sunday. It's pretty crazy. The first Super Bowl that I vividly remember, actually, I guess I'd say the second. First one I'd say was Super Bowl 35. I remember that Giants-Ravens game. But the second Super Bowl I remember vividly in my mind from my childhood was 36, the Patriots against the Rams. Adam Vinatieri game-winning field goal. It's just remarkable that Tom Brady was the quarterback then, and here he goes at 43 years old, the quarterback now, getting ready to kick off another Super Bowl, his 10th appearance. It's remarkable. You can't do nothing but give him all the credit in the world.
You got a couple of friends with Super Bowl rings. Can you imagine what those guys are going through today in Tampa?
It's special. I mean, I think that the Super Bowl is probably the most coveted championship in all of sports, to be honest, and not many people have Super Bowl rings. I think that you think about Michigan State, there's a pretty good, strong contingency of former players that have rings. I've held Benny Fowler's, I've held Greg Jones's, but for the guys today getting an opportunity to play in the Super Bowl, I know they're cherishing every moment.
And go all the way back to the great Herb Adderley, Hall of Famer, with the first pick six in Super Bowl history, Super Bowl II. And we're going to talk about the Hall of Fame a little bit later. Also want to welcome in Sean Belegian, one of Michigan's most versatile voices. And he is Mr. Everything for WJR, does a great job with play-by-play as well. How you doing, Sean?
Tremendous. Great to be with you guys. I got to take a walk down memory lane, Jack. For me, it was Super Bowl 11. That's the first one that I remember playing his day. It was the Oakland Raiders, Minnesota Vikings. I think Tom Brady was in his 5th year at the time in the National Football League. But it is absolutely amazing, how this it seems to get bigger and bigger and bigger every year, this thing called the Super Bowl. And years ago, my father tells me a lot of people thought it was a silly idea. How wrong they were.
Absolutely. You think about it, and it used to be on 2 networks. If you were an NFL fan, you could watch it on CBS, and if you like the AFL, you could watch it on NBC. Sean, we also have some news this week in terms of the high school winter season starting, and I think it wasn't long ago that you and I were at Ford Field broadcasting those Division V and Division III championship games.
Yeah, it's great news, Jack. And listen, I think what's interesting about this is everybody knows that COVID is real. I mean, it's real, it's scary, it's taken a toll. But I think at the same time, you have to look at the way that Mark Ewell and the MHSAA and the teams really showed discipline in the fall. And they were willing to pause and they were willing to forfeit games. And I think a lot of people out there, yours truly included, said, give these kids a chance in the winter. And so they're going to get that chance. And they have to be very responsible, and they have to understand that, you know what, if there is, God forbid, a flare-up, they might have to shut it down. But I think the right decision was made by the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
Mark Ewell's going to join us a little bit later in the show. And when we get back, our Take It to the Bank segment, talking about a great donation from Matt Ishbia.
Old Diamondale Insurance Agency and Auto Owners Insurance want to thank all our dedicated customers during this recent crisis. We hope to see your smiling faces real soon. Call your hometown team today.
The Masked Dancer, the costumes really are incredible.
I had no idea how much I needed this in my life.
It's a dream come true.
Your whole costume is superb.
They just raised the bar.
I can't believe they danced in that outfit.
Look at the details. The amount of work that goes into each one is pretty epic.
I'm dying to know who is in every costume.
It was vibrant, it was exciting, it was exotic, it was colorful.
Oh my God, look at his costume! Now I really want to know who you are.
This costume changes the game.
I love them all.
All I know is I am crushing hard on an exotic bird.
Ooh, a little romance here.
Across mid-Michigan, people are doing great things, and we're telling their stories.
Let's celebrate good neighbors together.
Friday, only on Fox 47 News at 7.
Dr. Sheldon Cooper. Cool, redefined.
At Graff Chevrolet in Okemos, you'll always get a great deal on a huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks. But you'll also get something else. Peace of mind. Every Graff used vehicle purchase comes with up to 6 oil changes for the first 2 years of ownership. We'll also give you free tire rotation with every other oil change. Always a great selection of used vehicles starting from $1,000 and up. Check them out at graffokemos.com. Lower your cost of ownership with our Peace of Mind program, only at Graff Chevrolet in Okemos.
So, I got my start in officiating when a friend told me I should try it. At first I just did basketball, and I got hooked. Before long, I added baseball, softball, football, and volleyball. I really enjoy giving back to the game, working with kids, and working with my local association to recruit and train new officials. I would like to say to anybody that officiating is a great way to help kids and stay connected to the game. We always need new officials. There's help wanted, just listen.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for our Take It to the Bank segment, brought to you by Dart Bank, dedicated to meeting the needs of our banking community for more than 90 years, with 4 convenient locations in Mason, Holton South Lansing, Grand Ledge, and the expanded Home Loan Center in Frandor. That's Dart Bank, for what matters most. No question, the highlight of the week for Michigan State had to be a $32 million donation from former basketball walk-on Matt Ishbia, the president of United Wholesale Mortgage. He talked about what he had learned from Tom Izzo and being on campus, and a tremendous gift giving to a new football building, a naming of the court at Breslin Center, and an enrichment fund for all athletes at Michigan State University. Darian, what does this gift say about the sense of family that we hear so much about and the whole Spartans will idea?
It means everything. It's a true testament to what we talk about when we say that being a Spartan is forever, being a Spartan dog is forever, and that it traverses across all sports. I mean, you look at the allocation of the donation for Matt Ishbia, 20 million of it is going to football, and then there's another piece of it that's going to all student athletes in terms of the fund being set up, the Spartan for Life Fund. Of course, basketball is going to get a piece, and everybody, just the whole athletic program, is going to benefit from this tremendously. So it's remarkable. You want to talk about a fun atmosphere to be in the office this past week when that was announced. Everybody was excited, and for myself, of course, as a former player, as an alum, meant it was incredibly special to me because I got to now show everyone that's new here just how they do here at Michigan State.
Sean, what can we learn from Matt's basketball career when his goal was to be the best third-team point guard in the country, to his business brilliance, and now his selfless generosity?
What an awesome life lesson. It really is. And I think this is a lesson for everybody, and you look back on his career, and I think everybody knows, if you're at the right age, a phenomenal run by that team. And this was a guy that, was he the guy that went out there and playing the role of Mo Pete or Mateen Cleaves? Absolutely not. But he was part of the team. And this was a guy that never gave up, and this was a guy that did all the little things and wanted to be part of the glue and part of what put things together. And it showed the discipline, it showed the hard work, and in the past 20 years, he's been able to move that into the business world and obviously uber successful at that. If that isn't a life lesson, if that isn't something that you can tell your kids, you can tell former Spartans everywhere, I don't know what is. I mean, it just puts a smile on your face. And it really, Jack, again, it's not just a Spartan thing. That's a life thing. I wish more people would kind of look at the example that Matt Ishbia set and said, yeah, that's awesome. That's to be admired. Big thumbs up.
When you think that here's a guy who walked on and never walked away, took the last shot in the 2000 national championship game, baseline drive, it didn't go in, but just about everything else he has done has been successful. Tom Izzo said, you know, you want to be a basketball coach. Am I really glad you didn't pursue that? Darian, how does the Ishbia gift make everyone's life on campus a little bit easier, including yours?
Well, again, as I said, I mean, it truly shows first and foremost what family means here and what's possible. As you go through being a student athlete and go into the world of either being a professional athlete or being a professional in life. For us personally, money makes the world go round. That's just the name of the game. That's just how it is. So for us, in terms of getting a new facility, in terms of the Spartan for Life Fund, those are things that we can show recruits and say, hey, look at what we're building here as we keep up with the times, as we, transcend the times and get ahead of the times, actually, on a lot of things. So, everything's great when you talk about culture and you talk about discipline and fundamentals and all those things. And we're certainly preaching those. But at the end of the day, you can't do a lot of things in life, without the dollar signs, without the funds to do so. And we've been pushing to get the funding for this new facility for a little while, and now we have it.
And this is much more than bricks and mortar, guys. This is career enrichment for athletes in a lot of different sports. And the chance to name the Performance Center and the basketball court after Izzo is something very important to him. Sean, Tom called his walk-ons down and said, which one of you in the future is going to be the one that gives more than this? Is it possible that the wish from Ish is the gift that keeps giving at Michigan State?
Oh, absolutely. I think Darian said it best. This goes with the whole Spartan will aspect of things. It really does. Keep moving forward. Keep doing what you need to do. Find a way, whether it be on the court or whether it be in life. And I think that's the beautiful thing about it because, that's what I'd be doing. I could be Matt Ishbia, for goodness sake.
We'll be right back. We'll talk about Michigan State basketball. A split this week. Up next.
The Ticket Machine is your local connection to concert, theater, and sporting event tickets nationwide. Our entertainment experts are ready to help you create a memorable experience, trusted by fans for more than 20 years. Whether you're looking for tickets for your corporate outing, family excursion, or vacation, we offer the best seats and the best prices. Grab a front row seat now on theticketmachine.com.
At Graff Chevrolet in Okemos, you'll always get a great deal on a huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks. But you'll also get something else, peace of mind. Every Graff used vehicle purchase comes with up to 6 oil changes for the first 2 years of ownership. We'll also give you free tire rotation with every other oil change. Always a great selection of used vehicles starting from $1,000 and up. Check them out at graffokemos.com. Lower your cost of ownership with our Peace of Mind program, only at Graff Chevrolet in Okemos.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
All you gotta do is hang on. 911, Monday on Fox.
Have you been planning your country dream home? Greenstone can help make it happen. Our construction loans connect you with what you need, from home sites on acreage of any size to do-it-yourself and fully contracted projects. We'll help you finance and build your dream. And with 31 Michigan locations, we're close to where you are and where you want to be. To learn more and get started today, visit greenstonefcs.com. Greenstone, your country lending experts.
PokerStars, the world's #1 poker site, is live in Michigan. Play poker, blackjack, roulette, and hundreds of slot games, all available now on PokerStars. Play against thousands of other players. We've got real money cash games, with buy-ins at all levels. Sign up now and we'll chip in $30 free play on your first deposit. Or we'll give you a deposit bonus up to $600. Time to go all in, Michigan. Download the PokerStars app now or head to PokerStars.com for legal online poker.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for The Big Picture, brought to you by Dean Transportation. Dean is hiring caring and dependable people as school bus drivers in many Michigan markets. Be a hero in your community and transport children to and from school with Dean. For more information and to apply, visit deantransportation.com/jobs. That's deantransportation.com/jobs. Yes, Michigan State basketball does play home games. It does have games at Breslin Center. And Sean, when you think about the 20-day layoff and the fact that Michigan State had not had back-to-back competitive practices since before the insurrection at the Capitol, when you think of that week, when you think about where Michigan State was, it does not excuse the fact that there's a lot to be desired from last night's 10-point win over Nebraska.
Yeah, nobody's going to hang that up in the Louvre or anything like that. That wasn't a piece of art or anything like that. Let's make no mistake about it. But let's not forget, Jack, this is a team that, as you mentioned, the 4-game losing streak stretched over the course of a month. You had to stop the bleeding. And this has not been an easy season on the court or off the court. To me, I'm not going to weep and wail and gnash my teeth so much with this. You had to stop a losing streak, period. Was it pretty? No, but at the end of the day, losing streak stopped. Now you can talk about those learning moments after a W as opposed to talking about them after a loss.
Sean, Michigan State had 3 games since its return from COVID-19. Nebraska coming fresh off a 27-day layoff, and it was consecutive Big Ten loss number 23 for the Cornhuskers. Maybe the way this game was played, Nebraska missing 13 free throws in a 66-56 decision, says that there's a ton of work to be done. The fouls and the turnovers from Michigan State, inexcusable.
No, that's exactly it. These are the types of moments where you like to talk about things like this, Jack, after wins. Those teachable moments are so much easier after wins. Unfortunately, with Michigan State, a lot of the teachable moments this year have come after losses. But listen, if anything, I'm sure that's what Coach Izzo is saying to the boys. Look, I'm glad that the bleeding stopped. We have to get a lot better. If we want to get where we know we can get and where a lot of people in the media thought we could get, we have to be a heck of a lot better, especially with some of the tests coming up with the schedule.
Darian, I don't know what your longest layoff was in football, but can you appreciate what Gabe Brown did last night and his contributions, and also Josh Langford in another rescue mission?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, anytime you're missing games, you're going to end up, being out of shape and not being able to bounce back as much as possible. As much as you want to, talk about going hard in practice and workouts, there's just nothing that simulates a game setting, a game environment. So to be able to bounce back like that was great. I think Josh Langford is playing unbelievable basketball considering what he's been through. He's showing, proven to be the leader that we already knew that he is and that he has been. And again, I agree. It's huge to get a win. Getting a win in any way, shape, or form feels good. And then now you can move forward and build on top of that.
Sean, the Spartans are going to need a winning streak of some length just to move back to the middle of the Big Ten standings in the goal to get the 23rd straight NCAA tournament appearance. As we look at this wacky race and the standings and games that may or may not be made up, how do you think this is all going to play out?
Jack, we've all sat here over the course of time and said, do you remember when Tom Izzo did this? Or do you remember when he did that? Or how about when he took out a sledgehammer and smashed a bunch of game films or whatever? If he finds a way with this team in a few years, we're going to be talking about that the same way. This season in every way, shape, or form has been a challenge on and off the court. If with the schedule being what it is and those games being so condensed, if he can find a way to get this team right at this time of year and punch a ticket into the tournament yet again, we're going to be talking about it. I mean, this has just been a disaster. There's no other way to say that with the whole COVID situation.
Crazy week. You saw Villanova lose. Houston lost. Drake gets its first loss. We'll be right back talking football.
We believe home is where the action is. With the FanDuel Casino app, you're only a few taps from your favorite real money casino games, like slots, roulette, and even blackjack. And when you're ready to cash out, you can get to the cage without ever leaving your couch and get your winnings in as little as 24 hours. With FanDuel Casino, you're never far from the action. Join today and play your first 24 hours risk-free and get up to $200 back.
It's about time to watch on your time. So if you stop using this or this and started streaming on this or this or maybe this, you can find our news free to watch anytime, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's about time we fit into your schedule. Streaming local news 24/7. Search WSYM on your device.
The best season ever.
At Graff Chevrolet in Okemos, you'll always get a great deal on a huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks. But you'll also get something else, peace of mind. Every Graff used vehicle purchase comes with up to 6 oil changes for the first 2 years of ownership. We'll also give you free tire rotation with every other oil change. Always a great selection of used vehicles starting from $1,000 and up. Check them out at graffokemus.com. Lower your cost of ownership with our Peace of Mind program, only at Graff Chevrolet in Okemos.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
Woody's Oasis, your healthy alternative to fast food. Woody's has the best Mediterranean food in town. Stop and see Chuck and Delita. They'll make you feel like family. Their friendly, knowledgeable staff is always willing to help.
Hi, how are you doing today? Do you want to do the homemade bread with it, or did you want to do the thin bread as a side?
They'll be sure to put a smile on your face. And as lifelong supporters of MSU athletics, you never know who might stop by. Eat Woody's and live longer.
Coulda, shoulda, Woody's.
Woody's Oasis on Trowbridge Road, right next to campus. Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for our Going Green segment, brought to you by Graff Chevrolet and Graff Nissan, side by side on West Grand River in Okemos. With 107 years in the automobile business, they'll take great care of you. They have on all 7 of my leases and purchases. For a new or used vehicle, go green, go Graff. Wednesday was National Signing Day, the second of 2 for the stragglers, the 5 to 10% that had not signed in December. And for Michigan State, mixed bag. Rayshon Benny, defensive lineman from Oak Park, and people thought he was going to come to Michigan State. Instead, he winds up in Ann Arbor. But Keon Coleman, a multi-talented receiver and basketball player, a guy who just scored 63 points in a game, said that he was going to come to Michigan State to play for Mel Tucker and Tom Izzo, something that's difficult to do, but has been done before at Michigan State. Darian Harris, how difficult is it going to be for a guy even as talented as Keon Coleman to play 2 sports at a Power 5/Champions Classic level?
Well, I think, of course, it'll be difficult, considering obviously not many people have done it. I think what will benefit Keon is one of the gentlemen that has done it is here on staff and strength and conditioning coach and director of player enrichment, who I work with incredibly closely, Lorenzo Guess. He's, going into year, I believe, 9 on the strength staff. He's one of the best coaches we have on staff. He's one of the players' favorite coaches, and he's a guy that won Big Ten titles playing basketball and also played defensive back under Nick Saban. So he's done it before. He is here on staff as a resource, and he'll be able to help Keon a lot throughout this process. But when you're that elite of an athlete, then, this is what you're used to. You're used to going from sport to sport. Obviously, this is another step above. But if he wants to do it, he's got full support, I believe, on both sides to do that.
Sean, we know what Darian thinks of this incoming class. He was involved in helping to land it. But what's your take on this 19-player group that adds size at almost every position?
Jack, I think this is a case of the Mel Tucker transformation of this program really, starting to come into view. Last year was just a start. This is year 2. Now he's getting more of his guys in, and guys, furthermore, know what to expect. And, I have no problem deferring to a guy like Darian Harris here, who was a part of a couple championships and knows what it's like to bring in guys that know what people are saying about the school down the road, or know what people are saying about this school and the other school, and maybe coming in with that chip on the shoulder. So last year, there were some positive signs. I think most people thought that Michigan State was really going to struggle last year. They did, but let's not forget a couple of the wins that they put up. So that was a step that I think a lot of people thought that maybe they were going to take last year. Maybe, just maybe, they're ahead of the curve right now. We're going to find out pretty soon.
Mel Tucker did become just the second coach at Michigan or Michigan State since 1948 to debut with a win over the rival. He joins Nick Saban, a pretty good company, one of his mentors in that department. Darian, Mel told us on the Drive with Jack this week to expect more arrivals from the portal, even into the summer. What's it like now dealing with portal ball 2021, and what's the toughest part of that?
Yeah, it's very interesting. It's a point in college sports I don't think anybody thought we would get to, especially college football, but it's here. And I think much like when you hear us talk about name, image, and likeness, or some other things that are coming in college football, if you're not ready for this or prepared for it or taking advantage of it, you're going to fall behind the curve. So I think the toughest part, of course, is landing guys that are going to fit within our program, fit within what we do, specifically our culture. It's interesting. You got to pull somebody from the outside and bring them in and plop them right down in the middle of what we're already doing. So you got to find the right fit. But at the same time, you can find, not even necessarily diamonds in the rough. You can find people that can really enhance your team and enhance your program. We've certainly done that with the 6 transfers we have now on campus. They've been unbelievable to start off winter conditioning, winter workouts. And as we add more, I know for sure they're going to be people that fit within the culture and what we're doing here at Michigan State.
Guys, let's take a look at the revised schedules for Michigan State and Michigan. Sean, as you check out this list, starting with the Big Ten game at Northwestern, what jumps out to you?
You know what? I think for both of them, I like the matchups early in the season against teams that were former brands that are trying to get back to that level. I mean, for the Spartans, going down to Miami and taking on Miami. Miami is back, has been an old bit. They've been good. Are they ready to take a next step? I think that's a good test for both. And conversely, the Huskies from Washington. I think people forget under Don James how good they were, and then they kind of fell along the wayside as well. But, you could almost call it the brand game in regards to Michigan and Washington, two teams that haven't done what they did 30 years ago, trying to get back to that level. Both those games intrigue me, Jack.
And Michigan State this year is the team that gets the bye before the Michigan game.
Huge.
And Darian trying to make it 10 out of 15. We'll be right back.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
You're up. There's an old saying, you can never have too many officials. The age of the average official is 52 and getting older all the time. We're constantly recruiting new people, younger people to join us. After you register with the MHSAA, look on the website to find an officials association near you. They'll put you in a position to succeed as an official. We all learned a lot from high school sports, and officiating is a great way to give back to the game. There's help wanted, just whistle.
Call it a sense of purpose, a higher calling.
At Dean Transportation, we call it our passion. It's simply who we are. 60 years of pioneering the best health and safety standards because safe student transportation is essential. We are hard-working folks, connecting children to learning, schools to our communities, and you to a better career. Want to make Mid-Michigan a better place? We'll put you in the driver's seat. Join the Dean family today and help to connect our kids to brighter futures.
Let everyone have some fun.
All new 911 Lone Star, Monday on Fox.
Hello, I'm William Shatner, and you may not know this about me, but years ago, I was diagnosed with a sleep disorder. And like millions of others, I was prescribed sleep equipment. Did you know sleep equipment manufacturers recommend daily cleaning? That's why I use SoClean 2. It's the perfect complement to my daily routine, and it's hassle-free. Try SoClean 2 risk-free for 30 nights and get $100 off. Call the number on your screen or go to SoClean2.com. Call now.
In these uncertain times, two things are critical: keeping costs down and your ability to communicate. The Antenna Men can install a new TV antenna and save you money by cutting the cord with cable and satellite. And Cell Signal Pros can install a cell booster to improve your in-home communications for increased cellular usage. Call the Antenna Men and Cell Signal Pros 7 days a week.
Watch TV for free with the Antenna Man. The Antenna Man.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's our Tracking a Trophy segment, brought to you by the Ticket Machine at the corner of Mount Hope and Hagedorn. For the best in sports and entertainment ticketing, whenever those events resume, visit theticketmachine.com. It is Super Bowl week in Tampa, and so much more than just the football game tonight. One of the annual events, the Pro Football Awards, and the announcement of the Hall of Fame class. Darian Harris, let's take a look at the honorees, the best players this season. And if you look at these 10 categories, did they get it right? And maybe if someone should have been recognized, who got slighted?
No, I think they got it exactly right. What the Browns were able to do this year was, unprecedented for them, and they were able to make a little bit of a run. And so you got to give credit to Coach Stefanski in that regard. Obviously, Justin Herbert had a great year and was very well deserving of Offensive Rookie of the Year. Chase Young was probably a no-brainer for Defensive Rookie of the Year. I think the one that stirred up a little bit of controversy was Defensive Player of the Year, but I know that T.J. Watt is an unbelievable player, but there is no doubt. I feel like in anybody's mind that Aaron Donald is the best defensive player in the league, and I believe he had the best season again. When you look at his win rate, the amount of double teams, I think 70% of his snaps he was double teamed, and to be able to do what he's doing from an interior position makes a much bigger impact on the game than rushing from the outside. So just looking at that list, I think they nailed it. I would just be curious who was the couple people that didn't vote unanimously for Alex Smith as comeback player of the year.
Yeah, I don't know what they're looking at. I thought that one might be unanimous. Congratulations to Derrick Henry for an incredible year, and in other years he might have been a worthy MVP. Sean, as you look at this list, what's more meaningful? Aaron Rodgers being the most valuable player in the National Football League, or Russell Wilson being the NFL Man of the Year?
Well, I'll tell you what, if you remember, Russell Wilson got off to a near historic start to this season. He may have been able to take both of them had that start, finished itself out. Listen, what Aaron Rodgers has been able to do in Green Bay is unbelievable. He hasn't had a great supporting cast by any way, shape, or form. He's one of those guys, Jack. Look, I don't like to admit this. I'm almost a fan of his, if that makes sense, because he's been doing it for so long. He's broken Lion fans' heart for so long, but I'm almost a fan of his in the regard that I'm in awe that he continues to get it done and get it done at his age. But listen, doing things off the field, Russ, by all accounts, is just a wonderful human being. So I'm going to go with Russ there.
Sean, I think a lot of Lions fans, people in the state of Michigan, cannot forget that pass, the Hail Mary from Aaron Rodgers to Richard Rodgers, probably the play that sealed Jim Caldwell's fate in Detroit. Darian, I want to take a look at Super Bowl MVPs and the past 10 of them. It's a great list. There are some names that you would certainly expect, and then a few that you would not, but they've all been the hero of their day. What stands out to you about this select club?
It actually is less quarterbacks than I thought when I sit down and look at it. I mean, just 2 years ago, Julian Edelman went in, Von Miller on here, and Malcolm Smith at the linebacker position. I know that's just 3 out of 10 there in the last 10 years, but you think about MVP of regular season and of the Super Bowl, it generally is going to go to a quarterback. So actually, to see that many, even though it doesn't look like that many non-quarterbacks on the list, that's pretty fun. And even last year, you think about Williams from the Chiefs who opted out this season at the running back position. A lot of people thought he was worthy of winning the award, even though Pat Mahomes won it. So I think everyone leans towards quarterback, but there's some other players out there that make some big plays.
Sean, I want to take a look at the franchises that have had the most Super Bowl appearances and the 4 who have never been there. And one name sticks out to everyone in the state of Michigan. But what do you think of this list led by the New England Patriots?
Well, it's absolutely phenomenal when you take a look at what Tom Brady has been able to do, and you think about it, as Darian mentioned earlier. My goodness gracious, that first one seems like an eternity ago. It really, truly does. It seems like an eternity ago. But, to be able to do this for 20 years, Jack, I used to be one of those guys. I would tell anybody that would listen that Joe Montana was the best quarterback I ever saw. And I only judge it on guys that I saw. No disrespect to guys that came before it. I think you're lying to yourself if you don't say Tom Brady. I really do. I mean, to do it and to do it as long as he has, it's absolutely remarkable. And, oh, yeah, that Brady-Belichick thing, that's going to take a big, big hit on the Belichick side. Just the mere fact that Brady was able to get back to the Super Bowl yet again makes Tom Brady look all the better.
Sean, you're going to appreciate this, but I talked to a Lions diehard. I mean, someone who always sees the glass as 1/12 full. And he said, who said Tom Brady is perfect? He's going to have 3 or 4 more losses in the Super Bowl than the Detroit Lions as of Sunday night. We'll be right back with Law of the Jungle up next.
Save up to 30% off big box store cartridges at Cartridge World in Okemos. If you can't tell the difference, why pay the difference? We offer toner cartridges for all makes and models and offer free delivery for business customers. Cartridge World in Okemos. Call us today.
Call it a sense of purpose, a higher calling. At Dean Transportation, we call it our passion. It's simply who we are. 60 years of pioneering the best health and safety standards because safe student transportation is essential. We are hard-working folks, connecting children to learning, schools to our communities, and you to a better career. Want to make Mid-Michigan a better place? We'll put you in the driver's seat. Join the Dean family today and help to connect our kids to brighter futures.
It's another fall Friday night, and your kids should be
playing high school football.
It's a fun game and it's safer than ever.
It's safe because the rules, the coaching, and the equipment are better than ever before.
As a result, serious injuries are at an all-time low. Seriously.
And builds strong schools, lifetime memories, and tomorrow's community leaders.
And it's mother approved.
It's a great game, and we want to teach it to your kids.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for our Law of the Jungle segment, brought to you by Woody's Oasis on Trowbridge Road, your healthy alternative to fast food. Eat Woody's and live longer. Stop and see Chuck, Delita, and their terrific staff for the best in Mediterranean food. That's why I'm there every week. Super Bowl Saturday is always synonymous with the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And a tremendous class coming in this summer. in Canton, Ohio. We'll get to the names in just a minute, but Darian, can you imagine the feeling for these guys who have devoted their whole life to the game of football, and they get the word that they're going to be enshrined and immortalized with the greatest ever to put on a helmet?
No, I mean, I'm not well versed in all the Hall of Fames, but from what I've seen, especially comparing it to the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame, no disrespect to some people that have gotten in, it seems like the NFL Hall of Fame is probably the hardest to get into. If you look at how long it takes certain people to get in, i.e. Drew Pearson finally getting in this time around, it just seems like this is the most competitive, if you will, Hall of Fame to get into. So if you make it in the NFL Hall of Fame, you're truly in the elite of elite company.
Sean, Calvin Johnson, part of this class of 2021. Maybe he can reconcile with the Lions by the time of the enshrinement, but we have both seen Megatron shine as brightly as any receiver, any player in the NFL. As we look at his career accomplishments, how should he remember?
I love what Darian just said, because to me, I'm one of those Hall of Fame snobs, Jack. And what I mean by that is it should be a Hall of Fame. It should be great players, not very good players. It should be great players. Calvin Johnson is one of those guys that can say, I was one of the best in the game, not only my position, but one of the best in the game at my position. Game, set, match. As far as I'm concerned, when you throw that out there, Jack, and you and I saw it up close and personal, I don't need to make a case. I don't have to say anything to add to that. He was one of the best overall, and certainly, in my humble opinion, the best at his position during the game. Automatic Hall of Famer.
Sean, I want to take a look at this class, and the players involved are about as good as it gets. Certainly, when you talk about Peyton Manning, Calvin Johnson, Charles Woodson, that is a tremendous top of the list, the class. And then you have Alan Faneca, who was a tremendous lineman for the Steelers, John Lynch, unbelievable defensive back for Tampa Bay, and Drew Pearson from the old days with the Dallas Cowboys, also Tom Flores, 2 Super Bowls, and the first minority to win a Super Bowl. And then you're talking about Bill Nunn, who's a guy who really built all of those Steelers 4 Super Bowl teams. When you look at this class, what will you remember?
I think Calvin Johnson's going to be able to play the game of na. My class is better than your class. I mean, it really is a phenomenal class. And, Drew Pearson's a guy, Jack, we're old enough to remember, tremendous wide receiver. He was outstanding with the Dallas Cowboys, first with Roger Staubach and then with Danny White. And the fact that it took a guy that good that long to get in the Hall of Fame is really remarkable. But no, Jack, honestly, this is an all-time great class. I'd be interested to compare this class to some of the classes of the past to see how it compares, because it'd be pretty hard to top this one.
Well, we can still see Drew Pearson with that big catch in Metropolitan Stadium in Minnesota in the NFC Championship game. And all of these guys had moments, if you saw them, you could say, oh, well, he's the best ever. Well, ever is a long time, and they're going to be in with their brethren looking down on football for many, many years to come after they have gone. Darian, something happened today in Tampa, too. And when you look at the history of the Super Bowl, there aren't many teams that have been there 7 times or more. In fact, the list is 5 teams that have done that. And then there are 4, including the Lions and the Cleveland Browns, and then 2 newbies that have never been there. Does it seem almost unfair?
Not necessarily, because I think that in terms of, history and longevity and the amount of, changes and differences to ownership, general managership and coaching and players, everybody's got an opportunity to rise to the occasion and be great and be successful. And, for myself personally, having been a part of championship teams and been in environments and organizations with, taking teams to new heights, to me, it's possible anywhere. So I think these teams that haven't made it, their time is coming. It's just going to take a lot of hard work, and you gotta mold your game and how you run your operation after those that have already did it. Obviously, there's a blueprint there. And, if you follow that, then you should have some success.
Well, guys, I'm 69. I'm getting my first vaccine dose Tuesday. Sean, you're younger, and Darian, he's a newbie. But maybe in your lifetime, the Detroit Lions will move off that last list. We'll be right back.
Let MSU FCU drive down your payment with a low-rate auto loan. For a limited time, enjoy rates as low as 1.99% APR. Visit msufcu.org to learn more.
Whether your insurance need is for business, farm and agriculture, or protecting your home and auto, experience the benefit of a local agent who cares about you with the David Chapman Agency and Auto Owners Insurance. Visit davidchapmanagency.com.
Celebrate a better night's sleep and save during the President's Day Super Sale at Denver Mattress.
Right now, save $100 on every $1,000 you spend and watch the savings add up.
Or save up to $500 on select Tempur-Pedic mattress sets and get a free $300 Furniture Oak gift certificate.
Save $100 on the entire Doctor's Choice lineup
and check out the Summit Firm for only $189.99.
Plus 7 years no interest financing and free shipping.
The President's Day Super Sale on now at Denver Mattress.
Call it a sense of purpose, a higher calling. At Dean Transportation, we call it our passion. It's simply who we are. 60 years of pioneering the best health and safety standards because safe student transportation is essential. We are hard-working folks connecting children to learning, schools to our communities, and you to a better career. Want to make Mid-Michigan a better place? We'll put you in the driver's seat. Join the Dean family today and help to connect our kids to brighter futures.
At Graf Chevrolet in Okemos, you'll always get a great deal on a huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks. But you'll also get something else, peace of mind. Every Graf used vehicle purchase comes with up to 6 oil changes for the first 2 years of ownership. We'll also give you free tire rotation with every other oil change. Always a great selection of used vehicles starting from $1,000 and up. Check them out at grafokemos.com. Lower your cost of ownership with our Peace of Mind program, only at Graf Chevrolet in Okemos.
Anyone who's had our chicken knows it's plump and juicy. What they may not know is that it's also 100% natural.
All our chickens are certified, humanely raised, no antibiotics, on a high-quality diet of soy and grain.
Why are they called tenders?
They're called tenders because they come from the tenderloin of the breast, hand-trimmed just for colors. It's not a strip or a finger, it is the true tenderloin.
I'll put our chicken tenders up against anybody's.
That's like my Granny Franklin used to make. That's outstanding, Craig.
Welcome to Delicious.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for our Value and Values segment, brought to you by the Michigan High School Athletic Association, a statewide organization with a proud history. The MHSAA supports broad-based opportunities for growth and teaches life lessons through value and values of high school athletics. It was a big week for winter sports athletes in the state of Michigan, and we're very happy to have with us Michigan High School Athletic Association Executive Director Mark Ewell. Mark, congratulations on all the work that you and your staff did to get winter sports up and running in the state of Michigan. Can we assume that we'll have full seasons and as satisfying a finish as we had for those 10 football championship games?
So we certainly hope so, Jack. Got great news last Thursday with the updated emergency order. Basketball and ice hockey can begin games as soon as tomorrow, February 8th, and then wrestling and competitive cheer at the end of this week. For our winter athletes, as odd as the last 2.5 months have been, really with very little activity, the next 8 weeks are going to be absolutely crazy. We're looking at a 6-week regular season sprint with tournament time starting in mid-March, and with our basketball finals, instead of March Magic this year, it's going to be April Magic, where our basketball will conclude the winter on April 9 and 10.
Mark, you had some non-contact sports that had been progressing all along with some careful monitoring. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, so those went incredibly well. We had bowling, boys swimming and diving, gymnastics, and then, of course, The one sport, Jack, I have yet to hear a complaint about having to wear a face covering has been downhill skiing. And the weather we've had the last 3 weeks has been great for skiing. So our swimmers and divers, our gymnasts and our bowlers are off to a good start. Our skiers are doing their thing. And again, those 4 contact winter sports get to join the fray this week.
Let's talk about basketball, hockey, wrestling, and competitive cheer, and when those competitions can resume and under what guidelines.
So with basketball and ice hockey, games can begin as soon as tomorrow night, February the 8th. But kids in those sports are going to have to wear a face mask at all times. There's not a testing option. It's going to be a sport to wear for the next 8 weeks. Those kids will be playing in masks. Wrestling, which is the one winter sport that we had probably the most concerns about going back to the fall, just the nature of that sport. It's face-to-face, nose-to-nose, close contact for 6 minutes. So all of our wrestlers, it'll be just like the pilot program back in January, to where our wrestlers are going to have to rapid test the day before every competition. So we're doing weigh-ins this year exclusively the day before, and rapid testing will happen on that same day.
Mark, what have you learned from other states in this region, including some that haven't been nearly as cautious?
That you can do winter sports and you can do it safely. Wisconsin, Indiana, and Ohio have all been playing winter sports since November, including wrestling. And while Michigan has had great decreases in our daily case numbers and positive test percentages, our 3 neighboring states have had similar decreases. So we're hoping that by adding our winter sports into the mix, that will continue to drive down those COVID numbers, just as our 3 neighbors in Wisconsin, Indiana, and Ohio have done as well.
And with an extension for tournaments, it means that still have a chance to get spring sports in, right?
We are. And so spring sport practice, those will start in March. We may slide those back a week to 10 days, but no, we really feel like, and you can see the 4 winter sports that get started this week, they're going to really dovetail well into spring. And, we've got 1 season down and 2 more to go.
Mark, thanks so much for joining us. We'll be right back.
Call it a sense of purpose, a higher calling. At Dean Transportation, we call it our passion. It's simply who we are. 60 years of pioneering the best health and safety standards because safe student transportation is essential. We are hard-working folks, connecting children to learning, schools to our communities, and you to a better career. Want to make Mid-Michigan a better place? We'll put you in the driver's seat. Join the Dean family today and help to connect our kids to brighter futures.
Anyone who's had our chicken knows it's plump and juicy. What they may not know is that it's also 100% natural.
All our chickens are certified, humanely raised, no antibiotics, on a high-quality diet of soy and grain.
Why are they called tenders?
They're called tenders because they come from the tenderloin of the breast, hand-trimmed just for colors. It's not a strip or a finger, it is the true tenderloin.
I'll put our chicken tenders up against anybody's.
That's like my Granny Franklin used to make. That's outstanding, Craig.
Welcome to Delicious.
Sports give so many opportunities to kids. It gives them an opportunity to see where they fit within a team, persevere, understanding how to work with different personalities. Those are the lessons that will make you a successful adult. As a mom, you have to have an understanding of what concussions are.
Concussions are things that are treatable. If we take care of athletes, they will be able to develop and have a long, happy, healthy life.
DraftKings Sportsbook is here just in time for football's finale. So let's celebrate with double the money. Because if a touchdown is scored in the big game, you double your winnings. As if this game wasn't enough reason to party, with double the cash, you'll be celebrating till next season. Just download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, bet on any team to score a touchdown during the big game, and double your money. DraftKings, make it rain.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for our cool and smooth weekly awards, brought to you by 4 great Culver's locations in mid-Michigan: Okemos North and South, North Lansing, and West Lansing. Since 1984, Culver's has been delighting guests one meal at a time with scrumptious butter burgers and premium frozen custard. Swing through any Culver's drive-thru and grab your fresh favorites. That's Culver's. Welcome to delicious. Gentlemen, we like to end every show with a tribute to those who have left us this week. And yesterday, we got news about one of the most charismatic fighters, Leon Spinks, Neon Leon. And he was a guy who was part of the greatest Olympic boxing team in history with his brother Michael and Sugar Ray Leonard in the 76 games in Montreal. And then a couple years later, he wins the heavyweight championship at age 24, beats Muhammad Ali. Ali comes back and wins the rematch in the last fight that Muhammad Ali ever won. But Leon Spinks, that gap tooth smile, he was quite a figure in the sport of boxing. Gone at age 67. All right, Team 384. Who has been as cool and smooth as a Culver's mint explosion this week? Darian Harris, what do you have for us for our play of the week?
Well, play of the week, Jack, if you can believe it or not, while watching the Mavs-Warriors game last night, I actually did flip over to NFL honors. I didn't just stay on the basketball game, so I did watch both. And I know it's kind of surprising, I'm sure, for you to hear, but I caught on to Russell Wilson winning Man of the Year, Walter Payton Man of the Year, and the play of the week I'm giving is the speech that he gave after winning that award. He dedicated it to his late father. It was a speech about how he wished his father was here to see him accept this award and how this award is the pinnacle of his sports career, even above winning the Super Bowl. And Russell and his wife, of course, Sierra, and what they do with the Why Not You Foundation, it just inspires you to do better and be better and give back. And that's what I try to be about. That's certainly what he's about. And it was the speech of the night for me. He's a special person, a special player, and I just aspire to do the things that he does in terms of making the world a better place.
If you did not get a chance to see Russell Wilson last night, it is worth going back and checking out YouTube. You can find that speech, and it's certainly words to remember. Sean, what about our team of the week?
I am going to give it to Mark Ewell and the entire MHSAA team. They were cool and smooth under a very tumultuous situation the entire fall and into the winter, and they calmly and coolly made their case and backed it up with science as to why we should at least try to get these winter sports back in action. So the MHSAA under Mark Ewell and all the winter sports teams, good luck to you guys. Be responsible, and let's keep it going.
Yeah, there were so many obstacles, and I hope the athletes appreciate the sacrifices that have been made by their parents, by their coaches, by officials, by the MHSAA certainly, and we hope they take full advantage of this experience and have as rewarding a time as the football guys did when they got to finish up with the 10 championships. All right, for our player of the week, I have to go back to Matt Ishbia. And a story, gentlemen, that I heard back in the early 2000s at Breslin Center. And family was leaving the building, and a woman said to her husband, I think Tom Izzo's a really good coach, but every time he plays that Ishbia, they win. Forgetting that he only played the last 90 seconds of a game as a human victory cigar. The woman says, why doesn't Tom just play him and start him every game? And that would have been fine with Matt. But in the meantime, he learned so many lessons and cherished his time at Michigan State that now it's his turn to give back in an even greater way than he did as the scout team point guard on a national championship team. And this is a gift that will not be forgotten. Sean, you're the only other guy I know in a tax bracket where you could have donated $42 million. I want to thank Sean Belegian, outstanding broadcaster, and Darian Harris, Director of Player Engagement. We'll be right back next week, everyone. Have a great week.